All right, y'all, we are officially back with another live stream. Episode 11, Agatha All Along in the Penguin Live Talk. If anybody happens to drop in, please hit that like button. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Yes, your boy is back with another live stream. Happy to be doing this again. So, anyway, let's go ahead and get straight into it. I had a couple of topics. I'm pretty sure that I wanted to talk about outside of the main topics. But anyway, the big two topics, of course, are Agatha All Along and um the Penguin. I finally got a chance to finish watching that, man, and whew, that thing has been really good. But anyway, the first thing I did want to talk to y'all about was James Gunn. So we got the trailer for Creature Commandos. It dropped yesterday. Okay, and it dropped yesterday, and I've only watched it once, but I thought it looked okay. I thought it looked okay. Um, I really don't know what more else I could say about it other than the fact that look like um it did look like what was it? It did look like basically the Suicide Squad, but with monsters in it. That's the only thing that looked like it was different about it. It was the Suicide Squad with monsters. And really, I know that there's probably been some mixed opinion on if this TV show was the right idea. Did James Gunn make the right decision going with the Creature Commandos instead of going with something a little bit more well known? Honestly, I gotta say that I mean, sure, he could have went with a well-known property, and then kind of probably went into something a little bit softer, and then went to a well-known property, kind of jumble around a little bit. Because there's been talk about the slate and people having issues with the slate, and there's even been talk about whether James Gunn is going to stick with the slate. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know if James Gunn is going to stick with this slate because of the fact that you know he says if we get a full script and it works out, then he's gonna release it. But if the script is shitty, then he's not gonna release it. And also, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Let me know how the mic is sounding. But yeah, if the script is good, then we get it. If the script is bad, he's not gonna release it. I know he was at the Comic Con. I know he was at the Comic Con the other day, New York Comic Con, and he was talking about it and stuff like that. I didn't get a chance to catch it. I can't. I might catch it later on and probably talk about it in the video. But I know there were some points and stuff that people on Twitter came away with, and I know he talked about the Superman uh trailer. The Superman trailer is close to coming out, but it's not coming out yet. So I'm keeping an optimistic view of the Superman trailer. For when it comes out, I know it's been a lot of negativity with, um, you know, James Gunn and everything that's been going on with him in the DCU. A lot of people think it's going to be too jokey. A lot of people think it's going to be too funny, too lighthearted. I hope that we just get a lighthearted Superman. Um, I do want it to be a serious movie. I don't want it to be too lighthearted to where it's like, too jokey, too funny, and people are just like, yeah, I'm not feeling this. So I'm looking forward to for it to be good. But again, Creature Commandos, like I said, I've watched this trailer and I'm actually kind of watching it now. And I mean, I can see that it's gonna be geared towards older, you know, adults. I guess you could say basically adults, not kids, with all the gore and everything that's in it. Um, I guess I have to wait to really see it to really judge it because just basing off this trailer, I mean, it looks okay, but it doesn't look like something I'm super excited about. What I really want to see is Superman coming out next year. That's what I really want to see. That's what I'm really interested in is Superman. And I think the best time for him to probably drop that trailer, I would definitely say is probably the Super Bowl because everybody gonna have eyes on it. If it's just a teaser, it would definitely be the Super Bowl. If he needs longer time, then probably do it a little later. Yo, So yeah, I think the best time for him to drop that trailer is the Super Bowl. But if he doesn't feel it's the Super Bowl and he wants to do it sooner, they could do it sooner. But I think dropping it at the Super Bowl would be the best time because everybody's gonna be watching it, and that's the best time to drop it. That's my opinion. So yeah, I'm just trying to keep an open mind to this new DCEU that James Gunn has got going on, and I think everybody else should do the same because it's so many people still holding on to the Snyderverse, and the Snyderverse is dead. It's not coming back. It's game over for that thing, right? And people are still holding on. And I've learned to let it go. As hard as it was, I've learned to let it go and accept that it is time to move forward. Some things about that universe is always gonna have a special place in my heart, especially the Superman Henry Cavill. But as far as everybody else is concerned, I am, moved on and I'm focused on what James Gunn is bringing to the new DCU. So, my train of thought is, um, looking forward to the new Superman movie, trying to be optimistic about it. And hopefully it's not too crowded. I understand that it's a young Superman. He's, learning how to adapt his Superman life with his Clark Kent life. It's not an origin story, which I'm completely fine with. So they're probably already gonna have his dad killed off. Hopefully it's a heart attack and not the stupid storm that they did in uh Man of Steel. But this has to be good. This has to knock it out the park because if it doesn't, there's gonna be a shitstorm that comes after James Gunn. And everybody that's sitting here on Twitter talking about it that is talking about supporting it, we all, and this is probably me pointing the finger at myself more than I'm pointing at y'all, have to go to the theater and support it with our pockets. We can't just support it on social media and think that's gonna do the trick. It's not. We gotta show up to the theaters in packs and support this movie because I want to see DC be good. The way I look at it right now is like this, right? Marvel has been doing a unbelievable job for years, and now it's been on a downward slope ever since Avengers Endgame, right? But I guess what everything up must come down. So we knew it was gonna happen when eventually. We just probably didn't know when. But I feel like they need that kick in the ass. It's almost like WWE versus WCW, right? WWE, Marvel right now don't really have no competition. And then you got this upcoming DC, which I don't want to say is AEW, but you got this upcoming um, DC universe. And if it gets off to a great start, it's probably gonna kick Marvel in the ass to say, look, we coming back better, stronger than ever than we was before. So you can't just sit here and ignore us. You know what I mean? This ain't the old regime. This is a new regime. So I feel like it's really gonna force Marvel to step their game up. You know what I mean? And I like the approach that James Gunn is taking as far as him taking his time. They're not trying to spend a whole bunch of money. Hopefully, they don't spend a whole bunch of money on this movie with all the appearances it's supposed to have in it. And I know it's gonna be a lot of CGI and stuff in it. So hopefully he doesn't go crazy and spend a bunch of money in it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that Warner Brothers are still cash strapped. I know they're still like billions of dollars in debt. So they're gonna want to, you know, be real strategic about how they do this DC universe. And I was saying it earlier. I know that James Gunn um, came out and said that if they don't have a full script ready, then they're not going to release something, which I think is a perfect way to go about it. And I hope that Marvel is able to take some things away from what James Gunn is doing, just like James Gunn has took some things away from what Marvel has done, because um it's the smart thing to do. You know what I mean? He worked with Marvel for years. He saw how they did things. Obviously, I'm sure he took some things away from them that he's going to add to the DCU. But, it's just going to be tweaked to fit the DCU. You know what I'm saying? So he's got to take his time and he's just got to plan accordingly. And like I said, even though I wanted to have some lightheartedness, I still want it to be a serious movie. So I'm kind of worried with all the appearances and us getting this crypto dog in this movie. Yeah, so I'm trying to be as positive about it as I possibly can. I'm just gonna have to wait and see when it happens. But I think it's gonna be something good, man. I really do. Like I said before, so many times, everybody is just viewing it through a small lens right now because we're looking at all the behind the scenes stuff. We ain't getting the full package yet. We ain't getting the full movie yet. You know what I'm saying? And I know that trailer is going to break the internet because you got Superman. It is the most known IP, the most known hero in the galaxy. There's been nobody that's probably had their logo slapped on something, redesigned more than Superman. Not a Batman, not an Iron Man, not a Captain America. It has been Superman that has been one of the most well known IPs in the universe. So, anybody can please hit that like button. The more likes we get, the more this live stream gets pushed out through the algorithm and it gets more people in here. So again, um, yeah, Superman is starting off this new DC universe, and we gotta hope it's gonna be good. Said it before and I'm saying it again. We all gotta show up with our pockets because if we don't, it's gonna be some serious trouble. It's gonna be some serious trouble. Um, there's no Zack Snyder walking through the door if this don't work out. None of that's gonna happen. And I just think the Zack Snyder fans need to just let it go. Snyderverse is DEAD. It is dead. Walk your butts to that theater and support the new Superman because, again, Zack Snyder ain't walking through that door if this does not work out. If that was the case, they would have probably hired Zack Snyder from the get go instead of bringing in James Gunn. But I gotta have faith that this is gonna be good. I mean, he's assembling the team. Everything that he said sounds good. I'm gonna watch that panel when I get a chance. So that's that. Um, as far as anything and everything else goes, I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot going on. Um, yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot going on as far as movie news and stuff like that. So I guess I can just go ahead and jump straight into the main topic because normally I have something else, but there hasn't been nothing else. So the main topic, of course, is Agatha All Along and the Penguin TV show. So Agatha All Along, I'm not gonna be. I've enjoyed it. Okay, I have enjoyed it. It hasn't been great, but I would definitely say it's been good. And the lamest episode I'm gonna say they had is episode 4. That one I didn't care for. I didn't like episode 4. I think it's one where they had to fight off the demon in the house. Episode 5 was where it got better. Episode 6 was the best episode, especially seeing them have to revisit well, they didn't revisit, but they visited teens or aka Wiccan's story, and you saw how he became what he is right now. So basically, Wiccan wasn't Wiccan, he was a different boy, and I guess he died during the car accident on the way home, and this is where somehow his body got taken over by Wanda. This episode was really good, really really good, and I didn't like the fact that it was so short, but it just felt like as soon as you got into the meat and potatoes and stuff, boom, now that it was off, it was over, and it was just like, all right, we got to start over. We got to wait for the next episode. But this episode was so good, man. I thought it was really funny how Wanda, not Wanda, but Agatha, when she was in the house, she thought she was at the police station. So the whole thing that you were seeing was basically her sitting in her house, even though she really thought she was at the police station. And when the wolf finally came off, it was like, wow. I thought those parts were really funny. Um, what else? I can't wait to see what they do episode 6. I do like the idea that he just doesn't have full control of his powers, and that when he tried to juice up, it didn't work. And I like the idea that Agatha isn't afraid of him. I like how she circled him and she was kind of talking mess about what does he want, who is he looking for. No, it's not mommy, she's dead. It's not Robot Daddy, and she's just like, oh yeah, it's your brother. There's 2 of you. I thought that was really funny. What else did I like about this episode? I like that they brought back Quicksilver. I was really surprised. I was like, wait, is that Quicksilver? Because I was looking at him and I was like, oh snap, it is him. But I like the part where they brought back Quicksilver. I like the part where they had some of the former uh you know Coven members show up. You had the Asian chick as a cop. You had the old grandma chick. She was playing the gypsy, whatever. So I like how they were able to incorporate some of the cast members into episode 6. I thought that was really cool. And yeah, I like how he was able to read minds and read his parents' thoughts. And that part kind of tripped me out because I didn't understand at first what was going on. I thought maybe, he had just gained. I thought maybe it was him the whole time, and maybe his powers got woken up. Maybe he didn't know who he was at first, but it's like, nope, he knows who he is. He just has his powers back. So I thought that part was really cool. But I've enjoyed the show, man. I really have. I think it's somebody did a video today and they're talking about how the show I guess wasn't doing too good numbers wise. And I've seen some people talk about how it's been doing really good. I've enjoyed it. I know it's not the greatest thing out there, but I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun watching it. I'm basically going out with no expectations. And that's something I've told people a lot of times, even on the streams and making videos. You can't go into everything with some type of expectation. I think everybody's fight again between Wanda and Agatha, and that's just not the case. And so you gotta take everything that you see, read, and hear on social media with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? Like you can't just go into it and you can't just go into it and expect everything to be what people post on social media. It's not always like that. So yeah, good show. I'm enjoying it, having fun. Now, if you would have told me that this episode would have came out, like I think it came out before or after the Penguin or something like that, then I would have said, yeah, I'm enjoying the Penguin a lot more. But this episode of Agatha All Along really opened the doors to um it really opened the doors to something else. So the shows feel different, you know what I mean? They don't feel the same. You know, so it definitely has a different vibe to it now that I'm sitting there watching it. And again, I can't wait for the next episode. I really can't. I do wonder, are the other witches dead though? Does anybody know? I'm curious about that. Because they didn't show up. But I guess if it came down to it, it should be Agatha and Teen uh going down the witch's road all along. But I wonder if she wants his powers. I wonder if she's after his powers. That's what I'm curious about. So there's that. Now, on the flip side, I um watched the first episode of The Penguin, and then eventually I came back around and I watched the rest of it. And from the first episode, I was hooked. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta watch this and see what happens. So I started watching the rest, and I was like, oh snap, this is really good. So I've been enjoying it the whole way, the whole time. Especially the last episode with the chick, whatever her name is. Um I don't even know what her name is. I just know she's a Falcone, but I don't know what her name is. But anyway, I felt so bad for her. It was terrible. Um, Sophia Falcone. I felt bad for her. Like her dad fucked her over real bad. Um, I'm trying to think. There's another YouTuber who was saying something about this. I can't think of what his name is. Um, but anyway, I was watching it and everything that she went through from the point where she had discovered her mom as a little girl all the way up until the point where she got locked up. I was like, wow. So at first I didn't understand why they visited her backstory, but then it made sense as the episode went on. You know, we didn't really know anything about her, so to have that backstory in there, it was very important. But man, this show has been kicking ass. The driver, uh, the black dude, Victor Aguilar, I felt so bad for him, man. He lost his whole family in a very messed up way. Like they really died when that when the I guess the dam or the wall collapsed and he's sitting there just watching it and you just see it hit the house. At first, I didn't know it was like a prequel thing that happened. I thought it was the sequel thing that happened. So I thought, okay, he's running all these errands for a penguin and he has a family. What is going on here? His family's got to be thinking he's up to something, but they don't know. So maybe he's keeping him at arm's reach. Then to come to find out, nope, his family died, and everything that happened in that episode, most of it took place before they drowned. So I felt bad for him. And then of course he had old girl, which was his only connection to his old life. But she wanted to leave because she's like, look, our parents are no longer here. I need to move and leave and do my own thing now. So yeah, they end up leaving, and that's basically what happens. So I was really surprised with that. Well, she ends up leaving, and then he ends up staying behind. I ain't gonna lie, if it was me, I probably would have left with her. If that was me in his shoes, I mean, there's no reason to stay. The only thing that would have freaked me out was the fact that you got the penguin. Um, You got the Penguin is somebody that she used to work for. You know what I mean? So obviously, I would have been freaked out if he would have probably tried to come after me. But yeah, this whole thing has been really, really good. Um, yeah, I definitely think her dad took out her mom, and then for whatever reason, I don't know, and then just went from there. But yeah, it's been such a blast. I've been seeing people talk about it on social media for a while now, and I haven't even really been like following. I was following people were saying, but I wasn't really into the show. So when I finally got caught up on Agatha, I was like, okay, let me check this out before I do my next stream and see what all the hype is about. So I finally got a chance to check it out, and I'm like, yeah, this show is something good. And then uh the fact that Sophia put the gas in the house and took everybody out, and she left the one dude living. This next episode is gonna be something crazy. This next episode is gonna be something crazy, and it does feel like it's switching from the Penguins show to Sophia's show. So if anybody ain't got a chance to watch the Penguin yet, go watch it because it is worth every single second. Whoever wrote this definitely brought the A game to this show. It is worth watching. I'm enjoying it, and it's been fun. Um, and I can't wait to see what they do next. But I do wonder what's gonna happen with the Penguin. What's gonna happen with Victor? Because he the only man he got around him. He the only person he's got riding with him. Everybody else is I don't even trust the Penguin. And then of course you got Theo Rossi, Dr. Julian Rush. This dude has been really good. This dude has been really good when it comes to the things he's acting in. Now, mind you, I've only seen him act in this. I've only seen him act in there's a Kevin Hart show that he acted in. It was he was with Wesley Snipes. It came out like 2 3 years ago, I think. And then of course Luke Cage. That was my first time seeing him. And he did such an amazing bang up job. And he's done a real good job in this one. I know he was attracted to her from, of course, the way he was holding her when they were first in the office, and of course when she ended up going to Arkham. And man, when she got locked up in Arkham, I'm like, oh my god, this gonna be nuts. And I thought it was 6 months that she was locked in there until she came out and said like, no, I was in there for a decade. And man, the fact that she was in there for a decade, it made me wish that the Batman, if they knew they were gonna do a TV show, it made me wish they would have kept her father living so she could have got her payback. It made me wish that they could have kept the father living so she can get her payback because that was some messed up stuff. When the cops pulled behind her and the Penguin as they were driving down the street, I was like, "Yep, I already knew it was gonna be some bull." So then, of course, he started opening his mouth saying, "You're in trouble for this, this, and this." Oh yeah, you already knew it was gonna be some trash, some trash. So yeah, man, it's been crazy. Like I said, if anybody has not had the chance to watch the show, go watch it because you definitely missing out. And now that I think about it, I think it was the Token Block guy. That's his YouTube channel. He said he never felt so much anxiety for a character. I think that's what he said. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yes, I felt the same way, man. When they said you got to go to Arkham and they said it's 6 months, and then they were talking about how you can't handle visitors and anything like that, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. This chick ain't gonna make it. And then I was sitting there thinking like how much of a slime ball her father was because he the one who did all this, right? So I thought that was real messed up. Um the part where the big reveal came, where I don't know the chick's name, but where she pulled up on Sophia and the Penguin after they made the big deal with the red looking candy. After they made the big deal and they were in the back of the club and they were talking, the old chick pulled up and she basically spilled the beans and everything like that. I was like, oh shit, it's some stuff gonna go down. So I was surprised to see that Victor pulled up, hit old dude with the car, and got Ozzy out. I thought Oswald was gonna be pissed off at the fact that his car got destroyed. But obviously he's more worried about his life. But he seems like he cared about his car a whole lot. And I don't really understand why they changed the name to Oswald instead of keeping it whatever it is I'm keeping it before. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just like if he uses his real name, it's Oswald instead of whatever the Penguin's name is. I like how they took out the brother in the first episode. That was really, yeah, I guess you can kind of expect it after a while because after he started talking mess, it was like you kept seeing the look on Oswald's face. You knew it was gonna happen. You knew it was gonna happen. Um, what else can I say about this show? Like I said, I'm looking forward to what they do with episode. What is it? 5 coming up. I can't wait to see what they do. I'm looking forward to see what Sophia does. I'm surprised she ain't take out old dude who's stuck on all that mess. I don't know what his name is, but he basically came out and said that he doesn't like her and all this other stuff. So I think it's messed up that everybody turned their backs on her when she got locked up. But I think the reason everybody turned their backs on Sophia and they wrote all those letters is because I think the fear of her father came over them. Like maybe he had something on him, or maybe they knowing who he was, he could use that against them. So I think that's why they wrote all those letters and had them sent so she could not get out of jail. But I thought that was messed up. You know what I mean? I don't think there was any reason for Sophia to get locked up, but her father played her big time and made her pay for it for 10 years while he was out there doing whatever, and then eventually he got his in the Batman. Like I said, watch that show because it is worth watching. Um, what else can we talk about here about this show? Because it was worth every single second of your time if you're into those kind of shows. Like I said, I'm wondering what's gonna happen with the Penguin. The whole house has been cleared out from um Sophia, so now she's running things. Now it's gonna be very interesting to see how she do things. I'm pretty sure once old dude, I don't know the old dude's name, dude was getting on the nerves. Once he steps up out the house, once he steps up out the room and sees everybody out, he's gonna flip. But he's stuck taking control under Sophia now because she's the one running the show. She's the one running the house. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the Penguin. I see what I've been missing out on, man, because everybody been talking about it, and I'm like, what is it that I'm missing out on? What is it so good about this show? And everybody said every single episode has been a banger, and I'm like, all right, let me check this out, and I agree with everybody. This show has been worth watching. Like I said, anybody coming in, hit the like button. Make sure if y'all new here, please hit that subscribe button. I'm currently on the road to 2,000 subscribers and trying to hit 4K watch time hours next year. So yeah, I'm just thinking about this show and this new crazy thing that she has that she was trying to partner up with uh the Penguin. But obviously, he pretty much stabbed her in the back, and now she's going to the fence, taking control of the family with no longer these drops, but this red candy that she's putting out in the street. And I am just wondering how episode 5 is going to go. I can't even picture in my head how episode 5 is going to go. I can't. I'm trying to think of where this is going to go. I'm pretty sure it's going to start with her maybe addressing who's ever is left of the family and talking to them and telling them, like, look, I run things now. Okay. It is over. I run things now. Everybody else is gone. They don't run nothing. I can't believe her uncle really gave her a ticket to Italy after everything that happened and thought that she was just going to leave. Are you serious? Like, bro, come on, man. But yeah, I'm really interested to see what they're gonna do with this next episode because that didn't make sense to me that they were just going to she was just gonna take the ticket and just bounce. That didn't make any sense. But like I said, if you ain't caught the Penguin, catch the Penguin. It is every bit worth of your time. I'm gonna keep saying it because it is. Everybody's been hollering about it on social media, and it's been worth every minute. And I believe it's the Basco scenario. I believe he's the one that said that Sophia is currently acting circles around Colin Farrell. Yes, she is. She's doing such an amazing job. Um, the other thing, when she got into the fight with old girl at uh, the cafeteria, I don't think old girl really wanted to fight her. I think it was the doctors pushing her into fighting her. Because when you saw later on when the doctors tried to give Sophia her shot to get her lick back, she didn't take it. Old girl pretty much tried to take herself out of the equation. I think she might have. I don't know. But when you saw that Sophia had an opportunity to get hers back from old girl. She didn't take it. Old girl pretty much took herself out. You could see it in her eyes. She didn't want to. I don't think she wanted to do it. I think that she was pretty much pushed into doing it. But I know it was gonna be some trouble when she was standing there, and Sophia looked and she was like, "She's not wearing chains. She's not wearing chains." And you started to walk towards her, and it was like she got the living crap beat out of her. And then they're like over here, with shock therapy and stuff for whatever reason. And I think she likes to is to keep them in control, to keep them submissive. So yeah, the last episode was a banger. Oh man, it was a banger. It was good. It was good. Like I said, I can't even predict in my head what episode 5, what's going to happen. You know what I mean? We got 2 shows. I'm glad Agatha all along has been doing pretty good for the most part, because I know that TV show has been getting shit on for the last year. Everybody's saying, "Oh man, all these stupid titles, Marvel can't figure out what they want to call it." Then it's like, oh, we all find out that the titles are titles of the episode, not the title of the show. The title of the show was Agatha all along. But I think a lot of people were wondering, did the show come off too late? But I guess when you think about the fact that she was stuck in the house for 3 years or whatever, maybe that was the whole plan. Because if they would have said 6 to 7 months or whatever, maybe a year, it wouldn't have felt as long. So maybe the show dropped when it was supposed to. Who knows? It probably would have came out sooner if it wasn't for the writer's strike. But yeah, that show has been pretty good. Outside of one episode, episode 6 by far the best one, and of course talking about the Penguin, that show has been phenomenal. Every episode has been great. I've not been bored through anything that has happened. I do obviously you know that the Penguin is what's the word? He's I don't know. He's very I wouldn't say calculating. That's not the word, but he's very like conniving. I guess is the word, and he's very like trying to get into your head and try and maybe to get you to see things from a different perspective. He's very persuasive. You know what I mean? The way he got pretty much everybody to try and look at everything from a different point of view. He's very persuasive and he's very sneaky. But I think the job they've done with Colin Farrell has been amazing. Um, I never went through any of the stuff he went through as far as putting up the makeup on, but I guess I can see why he wouldn't want to go through that whole process all over again. It does make you wonder why they couldn't find somebody who already kind of fit that, who already kind of looked like that, or as close as they could possibly get in real life as a real person. You know what I mean? But I guess when it came down to it, they just want to get an A-list actor, throw some prosthetic, skin, nose, hair, the whole thing on him, and be like, all right, this is where we're going with this. But he's done a really good job himself. I take nothing away from Colin Farrell. I like Colin Farrell. I've watched his Total Recall movie several times. I kind of like. I think I would actually say I might like it a little bit more than the OG. You know what I mean? But yeah, Colin Farrell has done a great job with being the Penguin, and I am, um, like I said, very interested in this next episode to see where it goes. Now that you got Sophia running the show, I know it's gonna be something crazy because I know she's gonna go straight for Oswald with everything she probably already done heard, and it's gonna be nuts. And Oswald ain't got nobody. And the thing is, I'm surprised that nobody is going after his mom, with her being, having dementia and everything like that. I'm surprised nobody went to her first doorstep already. That's just my 2 cents. Um, but I guess because maybe he was never looked at as like a high level person. Now that he got some heat on his back, he gonna have to get her out the house, move her somewhere, because he can't just leave her in the house. Because Sophia's crazy and she's coming. Sophia is crazy and she is coming. So Oswald about to figure out what he finna do. Get out of his house, pack up whatever little cash or stash he got, and get up out of there. But I knew from the first episode after he did what he did, it was gonna be some trouble. After the brother got took out, I knew it was gonna be some trouble. Because he became the new head of the Falcone family, and after he got took out by Oswald, it was gonna be some trouble. And I was like, oh snap, let's go. And every episode has been hit after hit after hit. And I hope that it continues because it's been well worth watching. But Yeah, I'm very interested in the show. I'm trying to think of anything else that I can cover as far as the Penguin goes. Anybody else have any thoughts on the Penguin and what they like or may not like about it? There's really nothing I can say I don't like about it. I think the runtime is really good. Like I said, the show has been really good. There's been nothing about it that honestly I've had any issues with. It's been fun for me to sit there and watch. And I'm when I'm in it, I'm glued. Everything else just kind of fades away, and I'm just into this show. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else about it that I can talk about. I know there's been talks about why there hasn't been any opinions from the Batman. I think the director came out and said that he doesn't want to have the Batman overshadow any of the characters. So that's the whole reason we have not had the Batman in it, which I'm completely fine with. You know what I mean? I like the street level story we got going on here, where they're telling the story about the Penguin and what he's going through, trying to basically become this new kingpin of Gotham. I like that. And yeah, I definitely think having the Batman show up from time to time would definitely overshadow it. So that part I do like the fact that they kept the Batman out of it. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So the family's gone. Sophia's running the show. And I like how she went up to the table when she went to the family dinner and she told the family that she felt betrayed by all of them because they all wrote those letters and nobody showed any support. Even though all those letters were all crap, nobody showed support. She was basically alone. So yeah, that's pretty crazy to me. That she was basically by herself. And like I said, man, she heard she had to go to Arkham for 6 months. Oh my god. I was like, man, this finna get something crazy. I'm trying to think. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else happened with some of these other characters? Like I said, Rick lost his family. The brother is gone by the first episode. I'm glad they did that with the first episode instead of letting it kind of simmer and wait. It looked real. It would have been better with the first episode than anything else. Um, I wonder how it is for Colin Farrell to have to walk like that for like multiple episodes though. I can't imagine because I've been a big fan of watching House, right? And the actor who plays House, he's talked about how walking the way he's walked kind of messed him up for years. So I wonder how it is for Colin Farrell to have to walk like that for however long. So the guy who played House, Hugh Laurie, yeah, Hugh Laurie said I guess he had a little messed up walk for a while because of him having to walk a certain way in Doctor House, and then you got Colin Farrell who's walking like the way he's walking in the Penguin, and it's like he's walking real hard with a limp. So it does make me wonder if it affects him at all outside of the show. Just curious, but yeah, I'm excited for this next episode. I'm not going to go into it with any expectations. That's the main thing I would tell all y'all. Keep your expectations low or go in with none at all. So when you see the episode, you're not expecting like, oh man, this has got to happen. That's got to happen. That's no. Keep your expectations low. So when y'all watch it, you're not expecting a bunch of things. That's something I've said about a lot of different things. Don't go into anything with a high expectation. That way you're not let down. Because you've heard it time and time again, with like example, Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. Everybody expected to be all these different characters showing up. You expected to have a Iron Man kind of crossover thing where it was gonna be Robert Downey Jr., but you're gonna have Tom Cruise play that character instead. So you got to go in with the low expectations. Don't go in expecting anything too crazy. Well, I'm gonna keep this live stream going for probably about another minute and go from there. Um, but yeah, go in with the lowest expectations with this next episode of The Penguin. And even Agatha all along, if anybody's watching it on my stream. If any of y'all watching Agatha all along, let me know. Like I said, I've been enjoying that show too. I know it's not the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's not nowhere near as good as Wanda, and it doesn't have people talking as Wanda. And it's crazy that Wanda was probably the main show that everybody talked about, thinking it was going to be whack, and it turned out to be the most interesting one. And this episode 6 of Agatha All Along definitely shifted the show. It's got a different vibe to it now. And like I said, it coming down to Wiccan and it coming down to Agatha made sense, no pun intended, all along, without the other two witches. Even though I do wonder if they're still alive. I don't think they are. But it coming down to Agatha and Teen, or whatever you want to call them, Wiccan, that one naming two different things, it makes sense. The main thing I had an issue with was the whole gay kiss. I don't understand why they had that in there. Why? It's like they're trying to push this LGBT. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get into that because I don't want to piss anybody off. But I just don't think that part need to be in there at all. They could have kept that part out. That's just my 2 cents. But I think the show has been very promising. I do wonder if the Coven is going to catch up to them, though. I do wonder that because they was hot on their tails and they just kind of just faded. And even after Agatha this whole time, so it does make me wonder: are they going to catch up to him? Will Wanda, not Wanda, I'm sorry, will Agatha get her powers back before the Coven catch up to her? What's going to happen? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I think anybody can come in and watch. I'm going to end the stream now a little earlier than I did my last one. Can't wait to do this again. The next one will probably be a little bit sooner. It'll probably be around 6. I'm just kind of going off my work schedule. So the next live stream I do will be around 6. So definitely come to hang out, check it out. I appreciate anybody that can stop by. And I'll catch you in my next live stream. Thank you for watching.